Let's continue this discussion on Apple. Bring in Will Power, senior analyst at Robert W. Baird, and CNBC's technology product editor Todd Haselton. Good morning, guys. Todd, let's start with you. Really, right there from where Josh was describing this new generation of products that was introduced. Obviously, expectations relatively low. Do you think they were met? They were exceeded? Fell short? Do you think the products will get traction?
I think exactly sort of what Josh just said. I don't know that they fell low. I think pretty flat on expectations. We saw, though, longer battery life on the Pro models, 4 hours and 5 hours, depending on the size you buy. And that's huge because everybody I talk to is saying they want two things out of their smartphone, right? They want battery life, they want a better camera, and Apple addressed those here. And then on the iPhone 11, Apple dropped the price by $50 to $699. It only just doesn't have the zoom camera, but it does still have a nice display. Not as good a display as the other ones, but it does focus on camera, and battery life's an hour longer than last year. And last year's iPhone XR was the longest lasting iPhone ever. So I think they did a good job there, especially dropping the price by $50 with tariffs coming in. But a lot of the people I talk to seem to have an iPhone 6 or a 6S. Now, this is the phone they should upgrade to.
Right.
But I think if you have something like an iPhone 10 from a couple years ago, even last year's models, this is more of a tick upgrade, not the big one that I'm looking for next year when Apple's probably going to add 5G and some other new features.
All right, and Will, Apple shares did finish today stronger yesterday after the event by a bit. What do you think this all means for the business? I mean, essentially, now that you have this sort of video streaming product as kind of an add-on, and they're really in incremental improvement mode.
Well, look, Mike, I think Todd nailed it in terms of some of the the key specs and improvements. Although the improved battery life in iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max is actually a really nice enhancement. But look, I think there were low expectations going into the event. I think they met those on the hardware side. For us, the real story out of the event was the services, and it was Apple TV Plus. It was the pricing there, and I think candidly, the real Trojan horse there is, their push to offer that for free with the purchase of a new device, for the first year. That could really help accelerate subscriber growth, which is a key for them longer term on the services side.
You say it's key longer term, but if they took all of Netflix revenue tomorrow, it's less than 10% of Apple's revenue. How big an opportunity is this really, Will?
Well, look, I mean, a lot of it's just solidifying the ecosystem, right? And I think that's one of the keys. And it's really putting all of those different, pieces together. So it's not just one of the services pieces, but it's Apple Arcade plus the TV Plus, plus the App Store and iCloud and all the other things that are bringing, Apple Music. And so it's really more about the ecosystem. One of the things we find, we do a semi-annual survey on Apple and smartphone demand. And look, I think we all know the smartphone demand has been muted, and many of us are waiting for that 5G iPhone next year and 5G generally. But within that environment, Apple's share remains awfully resilient. We think more than 60% of people in the U.S. that are going to buy a smartphone are going to stick with iPhone. And part of that's that ecosystem.